What's going on, real ones? BTHQ back for a recap for Ultimate Madness 2, which went down last night. So I've got the battles. They might not all be in the order that it went down because I can't remember the exact order, but I'm gonna try my best. But I've got my notes all around, so if you see me looking, that's my notes. So we had Emerson Kennedy versus Glue Easy. I had Glue Easy for my pre-match prediction. I ended up giving it 3-0 to Emerson Kennedy. Round 1, Kennedy flawless, no slip-ups. Glue, I felt, just didn't meet Kennedy where he set the bar. He just didn't meet him in that round. So he took 1 for me. Second round again, plus in the first for Glue as well, he cut his round short. So second, Kennedy, I thought exactly the same as his first. He was just on it. I thought Glue had better material in the second than the first, but he then choked. So it kind of just wiped all that out. He had better material, as I said, but then he choked. So it was kind of irrelevant. Going into round 3, I thought EK, again, flawless round again. All 3 rounds from him. And the thing that I liked about him as well is immediately as Glue finished his round, Kennedy would go straight into his round, sometimes even cutting Glue off, and I like that because it showed that he was prepped, he was prepared. So Glue, again, I thought it just didn't match it, man. Glue, I liked the angle he was doing. I can't remember where it was right now, but he was doing a certain angle at the time that I thought, yeah, I could fuck with this. But then he choked again, so it wiped it out again. Like, I was very disappointed with Glue. When he's on it, he's definitely heavy with the bars and that, and the punchlines and his aggression and the cadence, but it just wasn't there. Yeah, it just weren't a good performance from Glue. Probably the worst I've seen from him, period. So 3-0 Emerson Kennedy. Started the night off with an upset for my predictions. So who we got next? We go with Reaper Rel versus Danny Myers. This one got interesting. I saw some stuff after the battle of pre-battle. They were talking shit to each other in the car park. And Reaper Rel was kind of exposing Myers for recycling bars. Round 1, I thought Myers, he went off out the gate like typical Danny Myers bars. Like he was spazzing. He had a bar about Wayfair as well, which I was like, ooh. So I thought Myers come out the gate swinging. I felt Rel, he choked, but after that he kind of brought it back well. But once you choke, for me, that's your whole round gone. Like, no matter how you come back from it, you've choked. I thought he had good aggression though, and he was in Danny's in his face and his throat, but as I said, he already choked, so it kind of defeats the object. Second round, I thought Myers, Reaper had a t-shirt on saying something like fast forward, and Myers rebutted that. He did a bar where he rebutted it, what Reaper was wearing, so I thought that was cool. Reaper was very direct again in the second. Straight at Danny again, right in his face. I liked that about Rel in this battle. He definitely wanted the smoke, but after the first round, like, he'd lost momentum because of the choke. Third round, I thought, let me get this straight as well. The third round, my connection started messing up, so I missed a lot of the bars in the third round from both. So it was hard to score the third for me, but overall, with Rel's aggression and how he went at Myers, I liked, and it surprised me, but Myers took it for me. As I said, it's hard to score round 3 for me, but I went with Myers. So I'm going to go 2-1 Danny Myers. Who we got next? Let's go with Bill Collector and Young Cannon. Also, before the Myers-Rel battle, I had Myers winning, so I got that one right. Bill Collector versus Young Cannon. Had Bill Collector beforehand winning. He actually got the win in the building, but I actually give it to Young Cannon. I disagreed with what the judges were saying. But this one was more of a preference battle, so I can see why people picked Bill, but for me, I went with Cannon. So round 1, Collect had a lot of humour like you expect from him, but I felt like his punchlines lacked. I felt the humour was there, but the punches didn't really match the level of the humour. Cannon, I thought he had too much performance, so just in terms of heavy hitting bars and just performance, I'll give it to Cannon. Round 2, I thought Bill, he had some good material, but I expected more from him. Do you know what I mean? I felt like he didn't take this battle too seriously, but obviously he got the official decision that he got the win, but I felt like he could have brung a lot more than he did. Cannon, again, he had the better material. I did think he took a while to get going in the second, but once he did, I felt like it outdone what Bill did in the second as well. So I give that one to Cannon. Round 3, I thought Bill, it was a nice round from Bill. My favourite from him, probably the whole battle. I thought he had more punchlines in there, heavier punchlines, and it was more punches than humour, which is the preference I prefer. And I didn't think young Cannon did anything special or spectacular in the third, but I still preferred it to Bill's. So I had to give it 3-0, man. 3-0 young Cannon. Like, congratulations to Bill, he got the decision, but I disagree with it. Next up, we had Nun Nun versus Loso. Now this, a lot of people was saying that this is battle of the night. It was definitely a debatable. Nun Nun surprised me, and Loso wasn't at his best, I don't think, but probably enough for me. So I give it 2-1 Loso. But round 1 we had Nunn. I thought out the gate he was aggressive. He had like horrorcore bars, like murder bars, and he had a bar where he said something like best bars bar none, and I thought that was slick how he put that together. Loso, he said bring my brother to the table like Bubba Ray. Now that, quite a funny bar, but that was a puncher as well. Do you know what I mean? I like that little bar. Both out the gate, they were fighting and swinging. They were both wanting smoke from each other. Second round, Nunn straight back at Loso with energy and aggressiveness. He was getting a lot of reaction in the room as well, so that said a lot. Loso, I think he definitely had some stuff in his round as well, but I preferred Nunn's round this round, so I'll give Nunn the second round. So 1-1 going into the third. Nunn had a bar saying the 4 horsemen, going at the little collective that Loso's sort of known for. I'll turn your 4 horsemen into 4 shadows. The aggressiveness in that was there, but that was the standout bar from Nunn for me in that one. He did have a bar, I don't know if it was that round, where he said about putting Loso in, was it like the Tampa River or something like that? Or I can't remember, but I remember like saying he would dump his body in some river or something, and I thought that was fresh. But Loso, I thought he had some nice Nunn flips in there throughout the round, which he did through most of the rounds, I think, but this one in particular. And he took more of a rapping angle in this instead of being too direct at him. I felt he was just sort of rhyming and doing that kind of, showing he could go in different pockets of flowing. So not as direct in the third Loso, but I think overall he did enough. He kind of tried to big boy him, like Big Brother kind of thing, and he was going at Nunn throughout the battle, saying like, you can't even leave the country, you're desperate, you battle for free, I get paid to go around the world and battle, and all that sort of stuff. So, but Nunn got the official win in the building, so this was another one. I'm not mad at this one, to be honest. I could have given it to Nunn as well, but for me, just a preference again, and I'll give it to Loso 2-1. So, but that was definitely a fire battle. One of the battles of the night for sure. Tink the Demon in franchise. Pre-battle, I had Tink 2-1. I ended up giving it 2-1 to franchise. It's the first time I've seen franchise, and out the gate, he was on it like smoke. He said, "We're in a pandemic, you should expect a second wave." That was hard. Ludacris, if you ever try Stand Up, because the Ludacris song Stand Up, I thought he had a lot of quotables. I only writ a few down, but he had a ton of quotables for me. He probably had my first, his first round was probably my favourite first round of the whole tournament. Shout out to franchise, especially because I don't know a lot about him, and for me, he took me by surprise. The only thing I would say is that his first round seemed too short for me. His second round was definitely longer, so I don't know if he fucked up his bars or whether he just didn't write enough for the first round, but it was definitely short. Tink, slight slip up, I thought. Not something that you really noticed too much. Maybe a stumble, slip up kind of thing, but he got straight back on it. But for me, he just didn't have enough material and enough like punchlines and to get back at what franchise did, even though he had a shorter round. I just didn't think Tink did enough for me, which was disappointing, because him being locked up for so long as well, I was expecting more. So Round 2, Franchise, I thought he was okay, but I thought the first round was a lot better, even though it was shorter. I felt it was good. I just didn't think it was as good as his first round. Tink, I control whoever I metal with on Magneto, like that was fresh. You can go to the tree house with all that bark, like the tree bark, like that was cool. I'd probably give the second to Tink, going into the third. So we got 1-1 going into the third. I had Franchise with playing with letters, talking to demons without a Ouija board. Nasty. Toying a demon like Annabelle. Fire. I had Tink as well, out of body experience, and he said something about like astral projection, which is fresh, because especially if you're for the conscious guys a bit like me, you appreciate that sort of stuff. So good battle, man. As I said, Franchise really surprised me, and yeah, 2-1 Franchise for me. So a few upsets in this for me, but I've got to be honest with it. I'll keep it real and give you the honest feedback. There's a few underdogs that won this for me, and I think Tink got the decision in the building, but for me, I think Franchise took it. So shout out to Franchise.